Winter is coming, and shit just got real. Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 4, and now his watch has ended. This one really built on the momentum that got started up in the third one, and thankfully that foundation building from the first two episodes proving to be completely worth it, because now it feels like we're moving at breakneck speed. That's not to say this episode is wall-to-wall action, though there's a bit more of it than we've had in other episodes, but it just, stuff is finally happening, whether it's big moments with swords and battles or quiet moments between two characters walking through a garden. Which actually is probably some of my favorite stuff in this episode. When you get two scheming characters just trying to feel each other out and get a sense of each other, I actually kind of enjoy that almost more than the sword fights, just because it's a mental game and it's a mental battle, and it's like, well, they're each trying to get something from each other, but they also don't want to give up too much. And watching someone like Lord Varys, who we've known for a while, spar off against Diana Rigg and completely meet his match with her, oh, that is good. And actually, with Lord Varys, we got quite a bit of insight, and I always get wary when we get a lot of backstory on what had been effectively side characters up to this point, because it's always supposed to make them deeper and more interesting, but in my experience, more often than not, it just sort of makes you go, oh, okay, I kind of liked it better when I didn't really know why they were like that. But with him, it was such a dark and ominous backstory to his character. It contrasts with his outward appearance and his way of going about things in such a fun way that it really makes you think a lot harder about him, especially with what happens at the end of that scene. I'm really loving Lady Margaery, Joffrey's new queen, because we're watching her manipulate him, and we know she's manipulating him, but she's so good at it. Usually, when you're watching something and a character's manipulating another, and you know that's what's happening, it's not like gonna be a twist later on down the road. When you know the manipulation is going on, it usually just feels so clunky, and it makes the person being manipulated look like an idiot. It's like, how can you not see that they are manipulating the hell out of you? She is so good and so natural and so easygoing in her manipulations. You completely buy that Joffrey just rolls with it. It makes her look awesome as opposed to making him look more stupid. Tywin Lannister gets some more awesome moments, laying the smackdown on some more people who have kind of deserved it up to this point. We touch base again with Theon Greyjoy, who's having a really rough go of it right now, and I really kind of feel sorry for him because he doesn't belong anywhere, and that really gets emphasized in this episode very effectively. And then there's everything that goes on with the Night's Watch, and it's interesting to see this group that up to this point, all the emphasis has been on brotherhood and loyalty, and whoa, let's not forget this is a group made up of people who for the most part had no choice but to join. So when the chips are down, are they all gonna band together? It's nice to see that played out here. However, absolute highlight of this episode, Daenerys. She is finally becoming consistently the character that I was excited to watch her become. Her trajectory as a character was pretty obvious from season 1 where she was headed. So it always frustrated me in season 2 and the early parts of this season where she got these major stumbles that were stalling her from getting to where I know she's gonna end up and where I wanna see her get. Well, she's there. She is so badass in this episode, and everything that happens with her and in Slaver's Bay is just awesome and gets your adrenaline pumping, and you're like, I want more! I can't wait to keep these going. So we get a bit more of the dragons this time. So on that basis, let me ask you, what's your favorite dragon from TV or film? Leave something in the comments. Let's talk about it. And until next time, this council is adjourned.